I think we are live, gentlemen. Welcome to the very second,
number two
NIOA TV live stream for 2019, and we've blown the budget already. We've got a special guest.
Yeah.
Bushy, would you like to introduce our special guest?
Our special guest is Senior Scopesmith Phil Warden from Leupold, Beaverton, Oregon, USA.
All right, let's
Yay!
go.
Nice intro.
The crowd's gone well.
Appreciate that.
Now,
I believe we've got to our second one.
Yeah, I know.
Would have thought we'd got past one.
We had a lot of people coming on the first one, and they really enjoyed the Ruger live stream that we did. But we thought we're going to step it up now. We're going to ask the boss for a bit more money, and we got someone in from Leupold, so that's worked in very well. But listen, I thought what we might do, Bushy, with this one is we'll break it into two parts.
Ooh.
And I thought the best thing that we can do is get rid of Ken. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah,
Ken, so go away, mate.
Yeah.
We're gonna just talk to Phil for a bit.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Phil. I'm over here if you need a hand, mate. Don't you worry.
Good decision, guys.
Yeah, yes it is.
Yeah, I'll back you up.
All right, so listen, I thought, Bushy, tell us how we got Phil over here from the start.
Big plane.
Yeah, I know we got him in a plane, but how did we actually get him over here?
Well, we basically needed some of our stuff, people and tooling updated in our Leupold custom shop, and Phil was kind enough to come and do it. He's been here for 2 weeks doing that, actually.
Yeah.
Because we moved in 5 years ago. 5 years we've been custom shopping and building and warrantying and all that now. So we needed an update on tooling, latest procedures, and we just wanted to see how pretty he looked. And here he is.
There he is, the best looking guy on NIOA TV at the moment.
Very kind.
So
Thank you.
I thought, Phil, what we might do is have a bit of a chat about your background. Now,
Sure.
I've done a little bit of research. I've got on the net. I've looked up Facebook. I've looked up your profile. Mate, you've just recently married.
That's right. 2
Congratulations.
years.
Mate, I've had a look at your wife. Mate, you are punching above your weight. I can tell you that. I'll tell you what, he's done pretty well, the guy.
Let's take it easy.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Well, listen, look, what is your background like with hunting, shooting, and getting into optics?
Sure. Yeah, I'm native born to Oregon, and like everybody that lives in our region, but particularly people native to there, a love of the outdoors it's automatic. And I'm no exception to that. I love skiing, hiking, biking, running, rafting, hunting, shooting,
Yeah, wow.
fishing.
Jeez,
Yeah,
you must be
the list goes on and on. I don't do them all at once, but yeah.
Fair enough.
So tell us a bit about your history with Leupold. How did you get involved with Leupold?
Yeah, I was a young man and looking for a change of career. I like tinkering and working with my hands, and I got on there in the assembly department, and I moved to the product service department, and I've been there 15 years.
Wow. Yeah. And have you seen a lot of change with the company over that 15 years?
Quite a bit of change. Lots of innovation and lots of growth. Yeah, it's an incredible place to work.
Yeah, okay. So tell us a little bit about the background of Leupold. What drives Leupold to create the products that they create?
Oh yes, this is an incredible country and an incredible company with a long history. Over 100 years, founded in 1907 by a couple of brothers-in-law, Fred Leupold and Adam Volpel. They were making survey equipment and repairing it, and Fred Leupold coined the phrase, "The customer is entitled to a square deal." It's a statement that carries us through right to today. Yeah. And you flash forward into the 1940s, there's a legendary story of Marcus Leupold. Went to take a shot at a buck, and he missed because his scope was fogged over.
Okay.
Exclaimed, "I can make a better scope than this." And a short time after that, our first plainsman was offered with purged and filled with nitrogen. Yep. And that was an innovation, the first of many. Innovations are synonymous with Leupold today.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's incredible. And I'll tell you what, Bushy, you've been to the Leupold
Twice.
factory. Yeah, I haven't yet. Now listen, we gotta somehow talk. Well, I need you, right, to talk to someone, that's got a little bit of sway at Leupold.
Yeah.
Look, I don't even know if like Shane Meisel, if he's got any say, or John Slack. John Slack, what are you doing? All right. I think you need to go to Bruce, straight to the top, and get me in so I can see the factory?
Well, he's been twice.
I know, it's not fair.
There's security screening, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Goose egg for you. I think that might be telling you
Just
something
want to
there.
get in, film it, bring it back to Australia,
You're not
show
allowed
the
to
people.
film
Come
it.
on, there's got to be someone we can talk to.
If you make it over, I'll walk you around.
All
How's
right.
that? How's that?
No, that
Okay.
sounds good. So look, tell us a little bit about Leupold today and a little bit about their philosophy in the products that they're making and some of the innovation that they get up with.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, it's a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. We employ plus or minus 700 employees, and part of the Leupold magic is that we're all under one roof.
Okay.
I can walk right to our design team, right to our assembly team, quality assurance, marketing, and we all collaborate together. And that allows us a flexibility that just simply can't be matched.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Yeah,
And
700 people. It's amazing, and half of it's below ground, and half of it's above ground. Like you pull up out the front, you go, huh. When you actually go in, it's enormous.
And that's really our big part of our secret is those teams. Those people are incredible that I work with day in, day out.
Great facility.
And Bushy, just as the Australian distributor for Leupold, what's it like working with a company like Leupold?
Well, it's sensational. You know, to be honest, and I've told him that, and I tell everybody at Leupold, we deal with about 70 companies, and you know, not discrediting any of those, but these guys, they're not number one, they're very close. You know, in the top three, they're just fantastic. You know, if you need a hand, you've got it tomorrow. I mean, you've always got that lag time because you're dealing with the US, but the responses are immediate, the solutions are immediate. We can't ask for anything more. They've got product on the shelf you can buy. You know, not many of the people we deal with do that. They build it. Everything. You know, people say, why can't you get this Savage? Why can't you get this Ruger? They don't stock anything. Everything's built to order. And I know these guys do a bit of that too, but they have a massive warehouse full of stock. So I can actually get product in 10 days. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and that makes a difference having that good relationship because not only just with new product and that sort of stuff, but lead times on things. The communication's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sensational. You know, if every company was like Leupold to work with, I wouldn't need a personal assistant.
Okay.
That's great to hear. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Just come this way just a little bit for us, Bushy. We don't want to lose you. We don't want to lose you off camera. But look, let me just tell you a little bit about how today's going to run. So we've got Phil probably for the first part of this thing before we bring Ken back. Sorry,
if you have to.
folks.
Okay.
But listen, this is your opportunity, people out there in Facebook land. This is your opportunity to ask questions about anything Leupold. We have the guy right here. And I know for the past couple of weeks, we've had people sending in their questions. And I thought what we might do before we have the warranty and custom shop chat is maybe throw a couple of those curly questions at Phil and see if he can answer them.
Sure.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, mate, but
let her rip.
all right, here we go. So
Sink or swim.
Brett has asked, why has Leupold stopped making the 24 carat gold ring and emblem? Couldn't they keep it going as a custom shop item? So for all those people that are wondering what we're we're talking about the little emblem in there. There used to be a 24 carat gold.
Well, and it was also an option in custom shop. It's just not there anymore.
So tell us, why is that not happening anymore?
Yeah, Brett, thanks for your question. And Ed, for a while, you're correct, Paul. It was offered as a custom shop exclusive. It seemed to be popular. It rolled into a production run for a couple of years.
Yep.
And with the next design phase, it was just eliminated. And honestly, that's the first request I've heard for it in years. So I think it was just purely about interest.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of it had to do with when you look, if you go back, let's say we go back 10 years, we were selling a lot of gloss scopes. Now there isn't even a gloss scope. And of course, you know, shiny gold, it actually kind of made sense. It was a little bit blingy and, you know, you put it on a high gloss rifle like a Weatherby or something like that. It just really stood up. But all the scopes, and everybody wants matte scopes, and having a shiny 24 carat on you, I don't know.
That's right on the money.
Yeah, it doesn't really add up anymore, I think.
Yeah, okay. We've actually got another, along a similar sort of vein of question, a bloke from Matt on Facebook, not me.
Sure?
Yeah, positive. Can you get a stainless ring with stainless logo on the scopes via the custom shop to match like a stainless rifle?
Oh, I see what they're after. Okay, so You could contact our custom shop and see if they're willing to do that. Historically, just like these examples you have in front of you, we either have a black ring or a gold ring, even on custom finishes. But if you give us a call, maybe we might be able to work something out for you.
I don't know, Bushy, can we?
Yeah, it's not something we could do here. It would have to be a USA thing. Those parts just aren't available. So, yeah, I'm not confident anyone could do it. But
I mean the look of it.
Yeah.
Not actually stainless.
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Well, he did say stainless.
He did say stainless.
So I'd probably
I mean,
say no.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's fair enough. Matt, bad luck, buddy.
Sorry.
Mate.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, so this came through on Instagram. What stress testing do the scopes go through? Now, I've seen the ads. Okay, I've seen the ad. You've thrown them from a helicopter.
Yes.
You've put them in ice, frozen them, and then smashed them with a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
You've put them on a jackhammer. All right, you've done all these things to it. Now, I know that's just for a bit of show and all that sort of stuff, but do you really test your scopes that thoroughly?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay.
They'd survive that and more. And I know what people want to ask about, and it's something we like to brag about, but I have to be very careful about what I reveal in terms of detail.
Okay.
And that's what's been dubbed in recent years in our literature as the Punisher, and aptly so.
Yep.
And this is a scientific piece of equipment that impact tests the rifle scopes. Basically, product goes in, and this calibrates a very specific impact. It can simulate any rifle signature you could possibly imagine, and then it shocks it for a lifetime of hits, or lifetimes of hits, just see how long it takes for it to fall apart.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible.
And all of our product pre-production go through a battery of similar testing.
Okay, yeah. So, Bushy, have you seen the Punisher?
Twice.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, someone has got to get me to this factory.
2-zip.
Shane, John, Bruce, come on.
But you're not allowed to tell anybody about it, so we can't let you in there. You'll tell the world.
I'll tell the world.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's just
No, it's an awesome bit of kit.
this way, mate. We don't want to lose you. All right, now look, can a 2006, this is from Instagram as well.
Oh, okay.
Can a 2006 Mark IV M1 turrets be upgraded to a MIL M5 turret?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see any issue to that. I have to assume whoever the submitter is that we're talking about a variable scope and not the two models of fixed power Mark IVs.
Okay.
Otherwise, then that's a yes. Fixed powers would be a no.
Okay, cool. All right, well, look, that's just a couple of questions. No doubt we've got Digital Cara and, of course, Digital Naomi, which you guys never see, but they're off on the background. Let's hear you, ladies.
The enthusiasm, man, it's overwhelming. Wait,
that was actually Ken. Digital Cara is going to let us know we get some more questions. We got anything coming through yet? Nothing
Not
yet?
yet.
Don't forget, people get on. We've got some people following us.
Yes.
All right, ask your questions. This is your chance. We've got the Leupold guy here. All right, so Bushy, let's talk a little bit about Leupold warranty, because I thought this is a great opportunity while we've got the guy here to really explain the different types of warranties that Leupold offer across their range of products, including their, I believe it's lifetime warranty, and of course their warranty with the digital and electronic scope. So do you want to sort of say something a bit about that before we get Phil to maybe clarify?
Yeah, well, look at, I can't think of every warranty there is. There's 3 that I'm aware of that come straight off the top of the head. One for rifle scopes, because every rifle scope is made in the USA. It's guaranteed forever. And when we say forever, people like buying Leupolds because they hold their second-hand value, because it still has the original warranty you bought it when it was brand new. So these things are guaranteed forever, and it's pretty amazing. And other people have tried to duplicate that, but I reckon in 20 or 30 years, people won't be doing that, and you go and trade your other scope in and it just, no, they won't honour it. This is forever. In fact, it's interesting with a couple of other suppliers, as we did a bit of sniffing around when we tested a few scopes, people, and I can't mention names here, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but there's manufacturers who say they have a lifetime warranty, but they designate a lifetime as 10 years. Well, you're looking at 6 lifetimes right here. 60. So I don't know, how can you say it's a lifetime warranty when all of a sudden a lifetime's 10 years or 30 years? There's a lot of them doing that now. And Not with Leupold. It's just guaranteed forever.
Our lifetime warranty is simple and there is no fine print. If your scope, your spotting scope, or your binoculars fail you in any way, we'll repair it or replace it for free forever. You don't even have to be the original owner. You don't have to have the proof of purchase.
That's amazing.
No questions asked.
Yeah, and that's an incredible thing. And I think one of the greatest things that we've had by having the custom shop here in Australia is that unlike all other brands of rifle scope in Australia, we can fix them here in Australia.
A great service you guys offer.
You know, and I mean, that's the thing, people. When you buy a Leupold scope, you're not having to send it over to Europe for, how long would it take to get that back?
Well, it's normally 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Give it to us. What's our normal turnaround time?
Well, look, to be honest, that's one of the reasons we set this up and we partner with Leupold to do it, because by the time you do transit times of going backwards and forwards, getting held up in customs and all that, even if the company is doing a really good job in turning it around, you've lost 3 or 4 months straight away.
Yeah.
So if a guy's just spent $3,000 on a really high-end scope and all of a sudden he can't use it for 3 to 4 months, well, we're the ones that take the phone call and they're never that happy.
No.
So having that service here in Australia, and admittedly, you know, like most of the stuff we do is custom shop. We don't really do that much warranty. The little bit of warranty we do is quite often on something that's 35 years old and is just about dead anyway, to be honest. But yeah, it's an amazing service, and I actually ride my guys to do 48-hour turnaround. And by the time you actually add freight here, freight away, you know, that ends up about a week, and we think that's a pretty fair, good quality service for our customers.
Incredible.
If we can get it back to them in a week, they can get it on their rifle and away they go. We don't get too many complaints with that.
Yeah. Listen, we just had some questions come in through on Facebook just now.
Oh, okay.
So you can only answer them to the best of your ability. So
Sure.
we're not going to put you on the spot. Actually, we are going to put you on the spot. That's why you're here. How many MOA of elevation does the new 7-35 Mark V HD have?
7-35, the brand new. Well, it must be at least 100. I would have to guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't pin me down on it, but yeah, it must be at least 50 each way.
Look out, Bushy.
Do you have it exact?
No, not in my head, but I know it's less than 100 because I was looking at and geez, he's going to kill me.
No, only when the camera stops.
Yeah.
No,
I
because
don't memorize it all. It's okay.
No, because it's interesting. Well, VX5 is quite new to all of us, really.
Yeah.
But
this
I
is a brand new
know
model.
I was looking at 3 to 15, and that was about 100. But I was specifically looking at 4 to 20 and 7 to 35, which are the two new scopes.
Yes.
And I think the 4 to 20 still had quite a bit, but the 7 to 35 must have a bigger erector system in it because there wasn't as much movement. Now with today's MOA rails, I'm not sure that's important as it used to be. We all had flat actions. And don't quote me on this, but I honestly think it's about 60 MOA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just on that 7 to 35.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks for the save, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's only because I just had a look at it
It's all good.
yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully that answers your question. And the second one that came through is, when are Leupold, now this is interesting because when are Leupold going to offer a rifle mounted thermal or night vision scope?
I'm not aware of any plans to do that anytime soon. We have our Tracker HDs, and the Quest out there right now. And as far as I know, that's all that's in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is a question we do get a bit even on the phone.
Quite often.
But at this stage, you know, they haven't made any commitment to go down that road, and that's the answer to the question.
But
isn't
I will tell
it
you
is.
this. Shane, John, I'm just going to put it out there,
He's
okay?
assuming you're out there.
Should Leupold go down that path, it'll be freaking awesome. All right, that's all I'll say about it. So, should they want to go down
That's
that
not the
way?
first time I've heard that
No,
question.
it'll be freaking awesome.
Keep an eye on it.
All right, so that's the warranty. Now listen, let's talk a little bit about the electronics warranty and that side of thing. So we've obviously got our lifetime warranty, guaranteed. You buy the scope in Australia from a reputable Leupold dealer, it's honoured here in Australia, no questions asked. What about things like your range finders, anything with electronics in?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to offer a limited electronics warranty with our rangefinders, and for most models, it's a 2-year coverage.
Okay. But having said that, like Bushy, what about something like the RDS, for example?
Yeah, well, just to clarify on what Phil was saying too, you know, the electronics are very complicated things, and these guys are taking them into hunting situations, driving them on the ground, climbing hills and all that, and I think you've got to be a bit brave to offer a big long warranty on something that's that precise. And you know, okay, this has been punished to death on a machine. That hasn't, because that's a really intricate little measuring it's measuring equipment. That's what it is, basically.
Yeah, that's your rangefinder.
Yeah, so you got to understand that. But having said that, and this is something we're going to talk about a little later, RDS. So this is a red dot, and this has got electronics in it, but it hasn't got circuit boards and all the sort of stuff that's in that. It's only got that little LED tube light or whatever. So illuminated reticles, that's the thing I was looking for, are guaranteed forever.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. All right, so I hope that clarifies for everyone about the warranty. It really is one of the best warranty. It is the best warranty in the business.
Well, if it doesn't, we'll get a question, mate.
Yeah, correct. Have we got any more questions, Carl? Nothing yet. Start asking questions.
The
That's
best
what
one
we're
you'll
here
never
for.
need.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So let's now just go from the warranty side of things to the actual custom shop. Now, the custom shop does all sorts of things, everything from CDS dials, BDC dials, reticle changes, Cerakoting, all that sort of stuff. Tell us a little bit about the Leupold custom shop in the States.
Sure.
And how that idea got started.
Yeah, and that's been amazing to watch grow just over the course of my career. At the time I started, it was just a small, not really advertised or marketed part of my department in product service. And, you know, we'd get a request for a modification here and there, and sure, we'd set them up and we'd take care of it. A little later on, we started offering the bullet drop compensating dials.
Yep.
And maybe once a week, I'd go down to our non-production laser and I'd cut 20 or 30 of them.
Okay.
Every once in a while, we'd get a request for a off-the-shelf product to be modified as new, you know, but it wasn't a lot. And then they started to market it with some real drive, and since then it is just rocketed straight up. It is its standalone department with a whole team of people, their own support engineers. They even have just recently added a Scopesmith, just like myself, just to build the one-off product.
Wow.
And so that's your reticle changes, your adjustment changes, your bullet drop dials, laser engraving, and custom finishes.
All right, so what's important to know, and we're going to still talk a little bit more about the custom shop here in Australia, but if you do visit leupold.com.au, you can see both our warranty and our custom shop options that we have.
They're all there.
In fact, I should just go back to the warranty side of things, Bushy, that if people do have a warranty claim, you can visit leupold.com.au. You can download the warranty form, you can fill it all online, you can download the stuff, send it to us, and we'll just take care of it. It's that simple. So make sure you visit leupold.com.au. But Bushy, maybe you could explain a bit more of the custom shop and the stuff that we offer here in Australia for our residents.
Yeah, well, really, we're a bit of a reflection of the US, obviously. They've given us the technology, so we're just doing it here instead of over there. There are a few little things we can't do because we don't have all the tooling, but the thing that really changed for us is CDS. Now, I hate people who use 3 letters, you know, no, what's that mean? It's a custom dial system. Now, before we actually had our own custom shop...
I wouldn't say that. They've obviously... Leupold have paid big money for a marketing team to come up with CDS or something.
Yeah, I know, you're marketing a living example of it.
That's CDS.
So it's a custom dial system. So anyway, prior to us actually having a custom shop in Australia, look, I'd venture to say we didn't sell 10 scopes that had CDS capability. People just weren't taking advantage of it because they had to send all the information back to the US, wait to get the dial burnt and all that. And for whatever reason, Aussies just don't want to do that. Now, we do 30 a week every week. And anybody who's used this system, and I've used it out to 1,200 yards, and I'm not a long-range shooter, it is just amazing. Because if you actually give us the right information, so we're looking for the ballistics of your cartridge, the average altitude you shoot it in, it's a little technical, but generally speaking, you can be fairly precise with the information you give us. You give us the right info, you can dial that thing to 950 yards, just aim straight on and you'll shoot what you're going to aim at. Unless, of course, there's a hurricane blowing or something like that. But I got to tell you, it's an amazing system and it's far more accurate than you would ever believe. Like, it seriously is spot on.
Yeah, no, it's a great system. In fact, we've actually got a NIOA TV episode.
Yeah, we did do
with
one, yeah.
the custom dial system, but I don't have the link for Digital Cara to put that up, but we will make sure we put that up in the comments.
We do have one, yeah.
It's really worth watching. We take you from the whole stage of testing the ammo, testing the burning the dial, and then going out to the range and testing it out with a couple of things. In fact, Ken, I think we went out to, where was it? Wooden bomb.
bomb.
Wooden
Oh,
bomb.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when we tested it out, and it was
Yep.
sensational, wasn't it, mate?
We did it on a 22 Magnum.
We did it on a 22
Yeah.
Magnum.
Yeah, you can do it on any calibre at all. That's dead right. As long
Yeah,
as
no.
we know the ammunition, the ballistics,
Yeah, it was great.
dead easy.
Listen, we've just had another question come through on the Facebook. Will the Australian Customs Shop do the same animal engravings as the US shop? Because some are different.
Yes.
There you go.
The end.
How hard was that?
Give me a hard question.
Eh? So, look, Bushy, is there anything more that we want to say about the warranty or the custom shop side of things?
No, I don't think so. I think we've summed it up pretty well. It's the best warranty in the business. Everybody knows that. That's why we sell so much Leupold. It's been backed like that ever since the day it hit the market in the 40s.
Yeah.
So, you know, how can you go wrong with that? I don't think there's anything to add, mate. It's awesome.
Yeah, well,
Thanks,
I'll
guys.
tell you what we've got to do. We've got to give away some prizes,
Oh.
okay? Now, the prizes are important because otherwise you guys won't watch. You just want more and more prizes. You're just so selfish, all right? You just can't. All right, but anyway, we've got some prizes. We have got, Bushy, we've got the Leupold.
Oh, well, yes.
Okay,
On
we've got
one
the stubby
side.
cooler. Phil, we've got the hat. We've got a Leupold lens pen. Explain what a lens pen is.
That's for cleaning the lenses.
Okay, there we go.
Got any beer to put in that, mate?
Not yet. And for some reason, I don't know why, Ken has organised this, but for some reason we've got a federal bar mat. I
Well,
don't
it's the
know.
only ammunition you'd use in your
ran out of
rifle.
Leupold.
Oh, we ran out of Leupold, that's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
They're
But,
patient, I can get them a Leupold one.
So
but
popular.
we've got a federal bar mat as well. So I'm going to hand that over to Digital Cara. Digital Cara, have you got a winner for this absolute amazing prize bundle?
Sunny.
Sonny?
Sunny.
Sonny Joseph. I don't think he can win, can he? Can he win? I know, Sonny.
Yeah.
Can he win?
I don't know. Everyone's a winner here,
What do you
mate.
reckon, Ken?
I'll send it one to Sonny. We'll pick another one.
No, we're going to pick another one. Actually, can you maybe come over and help Digital Cara? Because I think there's a couple of people on here that definitely cannot win a prize. So
We like our dealers. They can win it.
Yeah, they can win. We'll send another one.
here we go. Jason Dietrich, you are not winning a prize, okay?
He's on a plane.
Brett.
Brett, you've won the prize, mate. Congratulations.
Well done.
You're all
job,
right,
Brett.
go crazy. All right.
Yay, Brett!
All right, so listen, what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a break from Phil. I know you guys just want more and more. I've seen the women side of things. It's gone like that. Our female audience has risen quite considerably since we've had Phil on. But now it's going to decrease a significant amount because would you please welcome Ken Stevens. Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks,
very
Phil.
nice.
All right, guys.
We're going to get Phil back
Crowd
later.
goes
Hang
wild.
on, hang on, we're going to mic you up, mate.
We're going to do a little change over here.
Yeah,
We're going to do that.
yeah, it's all right.
You-
Bushy
you-
and I'll have a bit of a
You
chat.
look after it, all right?
You guys go off camera and take each other's shirt off and
Wow.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So Bushy, it's been really good having Phil for
been
this
working
2
good.
weeks. And you know, what I guess I want to let our audience know is that he's been here training our staff in the custom shop side of things, and not only is it getting them up to speed with our new products, but also new techniques and
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely,
that we're doing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I believe there's some new equipment and stuff coming as well.
There will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know technical stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So all of this is about just simply giving you guys better service and better turnaround time on warranty things.
Absolutely,
So-
and things that we build here. Like I keep waving burnt bronze things in the air, but we build that here, and we want to make sure it's every bit as good as the USA product.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what Phil's also been doing, is making sure that our stuff is up to the standard that they deliver.
Yep.
G'day, mate.
Testing 1, 2, testing.
All right, hang on a second, mate. I'll just fix this up around here.
Oh,
There
very
we
untidy. Yeah, somebody shave all that off.
There we go. We're on.
Not my hair.
All right. Has anyone asked? Does anyone want to know any questions from Ken?
Oh, oh dear.
All right. Well,
Thank
listen,
you, Matt.
What do you think of Phil? He's been doing a good job, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
awesome.
Yes, he has.
All right.
Yep, he'll never come back here again.
Oh, yes, he will. No, he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah, he did. He got lumbered, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
He got knocked into this.
He didn't do too bad though.
Not too bad. Not too
I
bad.
only saw a couple little errors. Saying, yeah,
I don't want to say too much, but I think he's actually done a better job than Shane.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't.
No, Shane's a good guy.
Oh,
I like Shane.
He's all right. There. All
You're
right.
never going to get into that factory.
No, I got to
No,
get into
not
the
a prayer.
fact. Come on, Shane, let me in. All right.
Right.
So we're going to talk about product now. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think one of the first things that we're going to talk about is one of the new releases for Leupold, which was the VX Freedom Bushy. Take us through that, mate.
There's a really little one.
Listen, don't forget, if you've got questions, please ask them on Facebook, because that's what it's all about. Bushy, VX Freedom, into it, mate.
Yeah, well, I thought, it's our entry-level scope. Just thought I'd talk a bit about it because it got introduced beginning of last year. It's been an absolute screaming success for it. Took a little while to take off because people didn't really understand where it slotted in, because we still had VX1, VX2. It's replaced VX1, VX2, and it's also expanded the range a bit into things we never had before. You can even get an illuminated VX Freedom. You could never get that in VX1, VX2. So it's an upgraded lens system from even the old VX2. What are they? Twilight management system. Very nice. But we've certainly field tested them and used them, and it's actually sharper, clearer than the older product. It's also impact tested. We were talking about that impact testing. Every single design of every scope gets impact tested. So this is a 1.5 to 4, that gets impact tested. If there's a 2 to 7 by 33, that gets impact tested. So every scope is built to the same quality. Doesn't matter what the price is, because these are actually cheaper than the products we used to sell. And I know, stop waving the scope in front of my face, Matt.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
But honestly, it's a great product. It's now got scratch-resistant lenses on it as well, quarter-minute clicks, most of the things you'd expect, but a broader range. And in fact, in the next 2 months, we will have a 30mm 4 to 12 and a 30mm 6 to 18, both with side focus parallax adjustment. Again, things we never had before. So they're constantly adding to this on demand. In fact, we've asked for a couple of scopes just for the Australian market, whether we can get the numbers or not, but hey, it's a responsive company. They're talking to us, and we'll see if we can get them made. Yeah. So, try and get some things that suit our price points a little better. But honestly, we can't argue with the range of Freedom. It's just absolutely sensational. They also have rimfire scopes in it. Now, it's amazing how many Leupolds are going on rimfires. You wouldn't think people would be put a premium optic on something with no recoil, but almost half of the 3 to 9 2 to 7s we sell go on rimfires, and they're rimfire scopes. But a lot of people get a bit bent out of shape about that too, because the only difference between a 3 to 9 by 40 rimfire and a 3 to 9 by 40 VX Freedom is one's parallax corrected for 60 yards, that's the rimfire scope. The other is parallax corrected for 150 yards. Now, in standard hunting, shooting and all that, you would never pick the difference. Parallax correction is more for shooting tiny little animals a hell of a long way away, or target shooting. But why wouldn't you have a rimfire scope if it is corrected to the shorter distance, if that's where you're going to use it? It does make sense. But we certainly get a lot of people very bent out of shape about the parallax and where it's adjusted to in each scope. And you ask them what they're using it for, and they're shooting deer at 150 yards. Well, it really doesn't matter. So there's some things that are more important. Certainly light management and how strong it is.
And sorry, Ken.
I was going to say it's a good price point now too. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's always been at a reasonable point, but I think you've got a really good scope here at the price it is at the moment. And that's probably why it's popular in the rimfire field as well.
Yeah, that too. Actually, they dropped the price of rimfire scopes from where they were before.
We're losing you a bit.
I've got my pen
I
here.
know, but we're still losing you a bit for some reason. I don't know why. Come, that's in closer. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Actually, that's better. Stay there, mate. Stay there. It's good.
But yeah, having said that, you're saying about rimfire scopes. You still want a scope on any rifle that's going to shoot well. So and there's a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, and it's about jarring the rifle, not necessarily all about the recoil of the rifle. But in those new scopes too, we're going to have an illuminated reticle 3 to 9. Never had one of those in this price point either. We've also got an EFR one for air rifle scopes. So you can actually, an EFR is extended focus range, which simply means you can parallax correct right back to 10 yards. So people can use them on air rifles, rimfire events down to 25 yards, when they need that accuracy for target shooting. What else have we got, Kenny? We've got a scout scope as well with extended eye relief for things like gunsight scouts. So there's something for everybody, mate.
I think there is.
And Bushy, they've actually been quite popular here in Australia as well, haven't they? Like we do well with those scopes.
You haven't been listening, have you?
I have been listening.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. Well, no, I can't say what I want to say because we're on air. But it sells really well.
Yeah. That's what we wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have said, does it sell well, Bushy?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes.
There we go. So, yeah, it's quite a popular scope, and there's a reason for that.
And I love these little things, these 1.5 to 4s. People overlook scopes like this all the time. That's all I ever used to use because I never shot past 100 and 150 yards, only because I was blind and I couldn't see any further. But these things, you turn them down to 1.5 power, it's like using a pair of open sights, but you've got a crosshair. Just the best things ever.
We've got some questions coming in, Bushy. Look out.
I'm ready.
Is this about VX Freedom Digital Cara? Kind of.
Right. Well,
Hang on, here we go. We've got a question coming through. Does Leupold glass compete with European glass clarity?
Absolutely. Now you have to talk about price point for price point, and I was going to get to that when we get to VX5.
Yeah.
Now, I can say this probably doesn't because how many European scopes can you buy for $300 to $400? None. But what I'm saying is in our higher end VX5 and that, which is probably generally speaking half the price of a European product, I'd be prepared to say it's better.
Look out.
and
Look out, that's a big
Well,
call.
we've tested them. They're awesome.
We have tested this,
Yeah.
yeah. We've done a bit of the old
So yeah, look,
we'll talk about that when we get to the VX5.
that's right.
And let's not forget that a big percentage of European scopes don't have European glass in them.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. Well, that's the thing. In fact, there's probably hardly, well, I can't say hardly any, but very, very few. Most of them got Japanese glass or something like that.
That is a common misconception
Yeah.
that people think that all these European scopes have got European glass in, and also they jump to the conclusion that European glass is better.
Yeah, well,
Not necessarily.
well, to some degree, look, I think in the past, perhaps it was, but it's just simply not the case anymore. No.
Yeah. So, okay, well, moving on from the VX Freedom, Bushy, which has, again, been a great introduction to the Leupold line, is the new VX Freedom, sorry, just the Freedom RDS.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a Freedom RDS.
It's the first
Red dot sight, get it?
Yep,
Get it?
red dot sight. We're into
Bushy's-
3 letters at a
CDS,
time.
Bushy,
R-
even though Bushy's
blah.
right down, apparently he's right
He doesn't
down
like
and
'em.
angry at people with 3-letter acronyms.
I actually think the
Oh.
I think the marketing department of Leupold have got this.
I think
They have nailed it.
I think they've got a contract out on Bushy after that statement.
So, who's going to talk about the RDS? Ken?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, this is a brand new item. Yes, in the Freedom range. This actually is the only one we've landed here so far, which is just a sample.
Yep.
I believe they're arriving next month. Is
We
it?
hope by the end of July to have them on dealerships.
Yep. So what it basically is, it's got a 34mm tube. It's a 1 power. It has a 1 MOA dot in it, and it's obviously targeted at the rifle market. This is
with a 1 MOA
I mean, you
dot,
could
yeah.
put that on a pistol if you were so
Yeah.
excited, but it's a bit chunky probably for some of those. But you may never know. You might like chunky. But this one doesn't have a mount on it. It normally comes. It will come with a mount.
Yeah.
It's a cross. It's a one-piece cross. What do they call it?
Cross slot. Ken.
Cross slot. I keep on forgetting that
He
word.
mucked that up in practice, didn't he?
Yeah, I keep on getting that right. I keep thinking cross bolt. I don't know why.
Well, it's got a cross bolt in it.
Yeah.
Hello. Hang on a second. Yeah, hi, Mrs. Stevens. It's your mum. She thinks you look nice.
Oh, thank you.
No, he'll be there for dinner. Yeah? No worries, Mrs. Stevens. All right, 7 o'clock, mate. She'll be ready for dinner.
This is what I got to work
Catch you,
with.
mate.
This is what I got to work with.
Yeah.
Are you finished?
She thinks you look nice.
Are you finished? Right. So, oh my God. This has movement, the motion sensor technology in it. So in other words, you pick it up, it fires up. You put it down, it'll go off.
After 5 minutes.
Yes, it won't, not instantaneous, but at least that way it's
But the
going to
best
stay
thing is
alive.
as soon as you pick the rifle up, it's on again.
Correct.
That's the best thing.
Yep. There is a CDS version of it,
Yes,
Yes.
there is.
and that particular one is optimised for 223, 55 grain.
Yep.
So you'll have a dial on it. Now, I'm not exactly sure that it's a long range item, but it's still a handy thing. I could see this pretty handy on top of, a few scrub guns, something like a lever action would be good.
Well, Ken, it's interesting that you should say that because we've had a question come in saying red dots on hunting shotguns such as under and overs, lever actions and straight pulls. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of the above.
Right,
yes.
okay.
Yes, any of those things. I mean, anything that you can put a Picatinny type rail on top of, you can mount that. And and the good thing is it's not really critical on eye relief at all. I mean, you can have it positioned pretty much wherever you like. So yeah, no, on any of those things it would be.
You can shoot two eyes open with it with this, and so it's a really quick shooting system. There's no doubt about that.
Yep. So this it also it has 8 brightness settings. You simply push this little button on the side here, this Leupold emblem on the side. You just push that, and it will scroll up through the brightness settings until you get to the top where it starts to blink. And then when you start pushing again, it comes back down through the brightness settings. So I actually had a look at it outside, nice and bright. So there's no problem seeing the dot at all.
Great little product. I love it.
And it's a nice little dot too, like I said. So
1 MIA dots.
So it's going, I mean, that's still, when you start getting out at range, is still, going to get fairly large. But
it's only 1.5 MOA at 150 yards.
Correct. Correct. It's still, but I'm just saying it's still very, very usable. And with the kind of thing you're going to be shooting with, if you're like shooting hogs or whatever, it'd be very, very, very handy. Do you want to play with that, Bushy? Do you?
Here's a question for you, mate. Is it made in the USA?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
And it goes through this, and it goes through. Oh my Lord! It's never work with children.
That one.
Or animals.
Well, it's interesting. We've actually got a special guest later on.
I might add with the 223 version of it, because it's got a CDS type dial on it. For argument's sake, if you wanted to see, you throw that away, I haven't got a 223, we can burn a 308 dial for it.
We can.
Or
yes, we can.
if you wanted to use it on even on a 22, because obviously a 22's got a bit of trajectory in it, and there's probably a bit more reason to even have a CDS dial on that, we can burn that, anything you want. So that one you can do.
I think that would go superb on our Savage A22R, Bushy.
Oh, it'd be awesome, mate.
Yes.
I love it. Weighs nothing, it's great.
I want one.
No, excellent.
So it's and it's guaranteed for life. That one, it's a lifetime guarantee on that.
Beautiful.
It's fog-proof, waterproof.
Leupold RDS.
It's the business.
Great thing,
Excellent.
Yep, I like it.
Make sure you go down to your local gun dealer and ask to see it and talk about it and maybe get one on order.
Yeah, next month.
Next month, hopefully.
I can order them now.
Yeah, get on there and order them now because they are going to be very, very
Bushy will have a truckload of them coming.
Oh, yeah.
I have. As long as they supply the truckload.
Yeah, that'll be all good.
Oh, they will.
All right, well, look, let's now start talking about, we're going to start to get into some serious optic ability now. And we're going to talk.
Oh, serious?
I know, but this is even seriouser.
Right.
The Leupold VX5 HD, Bushman.
Oh, that one.
Oh, yeah. That is a scope.
Oh, yeah. These things are awesome. Just unbelievable how many we're selling now, and I mean that. It's earned its stripes. I've got to tell you, from an Australian market point of view, cracking the Victorian market has always been hard because those guys just want European optics for whatever reason. We are now selling heaps of these in Victoria. And the main driver behind that is simply, they're significantly cheaper, 30 to 40% cheaper, and they're just as good, if not better. It's something. When we went and tested this, I was just blown away. The sharpness, the colour, the contrast. It's
actually that colour really impressed you, didn't it? The colour,
unbelievable. Like we had a Eastern Rosella sitting on the ground, that all this yellow, red, and blue on him, and all that, about 130 yards, and this was just lighting him up in really low light. It was just really amazing. The quality of these HD lenses and this system is just second to none. And I, when Kenny and I tested this, we actually looked at each other and said, how are they going to improve on this? Because that's my absolute comment, because I don't know how you can. It is so good now that I don't know what you do next to make it better, because I'm sure there will be something to make it better, but I can't work out what. It's absolutely amazing. Most of these come with a CDS option, custom dial system.
CDS.
Hates acronyms.
Stop it. They have a zero lock elevation. in either two rotations or three rotations on the really big fellas like the new 7 to 35. This is a 3 to 15 by 56. And in fact, the most popular VX5 we sell is a 3 to 15 by 44 illuminated. And that's it, just so far in front of the others. We sell so many of them and they just love them. And again, I'm not saying they all go to the Victorian market. We're selling them all over Australia, but those guys have really actually, you know, the product's proving itself. As we had that question before about the glass, a classic example. And you know, I've been in the industry over 40 years, and people always have said, "Oh, European glass, European glass." And look, I've got to tell you, when I was in the industry, all right, in 1976, anything European was better. There was no question about that. But the thing is, not everything stayed still. Yeah. Look at his hair. I mean, like it's just the way it is. Things have moved on.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Yeah. But this is it. I can't stress it enough. It's just an absolute brilliant product, and it sells itself because it's good value for money.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I think too, like, and I think it was one of the comments that you made. Incidentally, this scope test that we did with the VX5 HD, Digital Cara, have you got that up? It's in the links on Facebook at the moment. Make sure you check that out, because that was really, really enlightening. And
it wasn't biased, it was honest.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that you mentioned in that clip was that for your money, dollar for dollar, every time, reliability, pull it out, whack it on the thing and go shooting, that was your pick.
Oh, absolutely. And I've got to tell you, as I said, I've been to the factory a couple of times and spoken to the genius behind the impact tester, and he is one special puppy.
I've never been to the factory.
Yeah, I'll keep it that way. But his comment was...
No children or dogs.
Most of the high-end European glass that he tests alongside these products, because that's what they do. If they build a new spotting scope, they go and buy everybody else's brand and make sure they've built one as good or better. And that's the plan with everything they do. So when they do a new design like this, it's because they're testing against everything else. And he was saying a lot of those European scopes, and again, I can't mention brands in that, just didn't pass the test that Leupold's did. They just weren't that strong. Yeah. And I can talk about a Leupold product that failed on it too, because it took us a long time to get it. And it's interesting because here's one, they had to put so much technology into it. It was the VXL. The VXL had that scoop out of the bottom of it, which made it very difficult to seal the front lens. And we got all those VXL, another 3 letters, scopes through. And that was a great concept because you could put the scope a lot lower. Yeah. But we waited years for the 56mm version of it. And with this impact tester, it kept popping out the 56mm lens, the great big lens, because of this cutout. So it did pass in the end, but it took them a long time to sort it out. So having a big lens in the front isn't always the best thing, because you look at all that weight, it's got to be secure. If you've got a high recoiling rifle and you've got because these lenses are very heavy, these big guys like that, and you've got all that inertia, if it's not actually locked in there properly, well,
which they are.
But in other brands, they may not be. So, yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah. And, Bushy, what has been the Australian market reaction? I mean, I know you said Victoria's been really pleased with it, but the overall reaction to that VX5 HD is for people that want a really, really good quality scope.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one to get.
Like I said, they're just a joy to look through. Yeah. Like they're just right up here with these HD lenses. It's the old story. You can say anything you want. Go to a shop and have a look through one. Go and look at all the others, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You think, oh no, it's a bright sunny day. They all look the same. Tell you what, even on a bright sunny day, they don't. This is better.
Bushy, we do have a comment through. They want you to explain just a bit more about the zero lock, what that means.
Zero lock. So zero lock is basically...
So just come forward. If you step out, you lose the thing. Come forward. That's better. There we go.
Oh, we should stop telling him to do this.
Okay.
Kenny, do you want to talk into my zero lock scope?
No.
So yeah, just a little bit about it, mate.
So basically it's an elevation adjustment. And it is locked. Once you start, and it's made for people who do want to wind up and down. Like if, for argument's sake, well, okay, it is made to wind up and down. If you've got a CDS, there it is, CDS, you don't need to do that. because it's, well, you do need to do it, but not with a zero lock. And there it is. You can see that, Kenny. See, I've just popped it out.
Yep.
That's actually locked, and it's on the zero right here on the back, which
it has a
you
little
can't
button
see
on the
there.
back. Yep,
Little
to
button on
release
the
it.
back. So when you actually start doing the revolutions with it, this button actually goes in for the first revolution and then comes out for the second. So you actually know you've now done 2 revolutions. Otherwise you just get lost in your revolutions as well. So there's a bit of that, but it's really just a simple tool for long range shooting. You know, this one, as I say, as it comes up, it's 1/4 minute click. The metric ones are not, they're 0.1 milliradian or whatever, but most of these scopes are 1/4 minute click, and that's what it'll do. But if you get a CDS dial, which you can with most of these, and the CDS dial costs you, pop that on top and just go to the meterage then. You don't have to worry about any of these other things or where it is.
Cool. All right. So that's the VX5, the Leupold VX5 HD.
Awesome.
And yeah, just an absolute sensational scope. Make sure you go down to your local firearms dealer and check them out. We've put a link on our website to find out more about it, a bit more detail. But definitely go into a shop and have a look through one. You will be very, very impressed.
And we now have the 4 to 20s and the 7 to 35s in stock.
Yeah, but if you want to go out that further range, that's 7 to 35.
Oh yeah.
Crikey.
Crikey,
Yeah, it's
that's
going to be
right.
a good one. Now, Ken,
Yes.
mate, let's talk rangefinders. What do you reckon?
Let's talk rangefinders.
All right, so we're going to look at the RX 2800, the
Yes.
Leupold RX 2800.
TBR/W.
Look out.
Oh.
Look out.
Yep.
He's done a bit of
So
study,
this,
people. He's done a bit of
and
research.
this we do have plenty of in stock as well.
Correct.
I think Bushy's well and truly overordered.
No, we still plenty of them.
Okay, I knew that. Yes, this is not a new item. It's about a year old or so, I would
about
say,
that,
something
yeah.
like that. This is the biggest, or the has the longest distance on it.
Yeah, in a monocular.
In
yeah.
a monocular, yeah.
Correct.
So it's 2,800 yards reflective distance, which is a long way. Yeah, like 2.5 kilometres. And that's on a reflective surface. But you know, getting back to sort of something a little more realistic in everyday use, though, I went out front and had a bit of a play with it to see what it was like. I'd like to have a look in the. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. Nothing. Nothing else.
I never work with children and animals.
No, I'm not the one having a play with.
But yeah, it worked. It actually is very good in the light. That OLED.
Very bright.
Yeah, it's very good. You can see, you know, the crosshair and everything very clearly, and you can have actually you can actually get 3 different crosshairs in it. I tried
it's
out
selectable.
I tried out on a few things out there. I was ranging like trees. They say that you can range trees out to around about 1,300 yards. The furthest ones I could find away are about 900 metres, and it was no problem at all. Bounced back straight away. Had no problem ranging to there. A couple buildings down the road that are 700 or 800 metres away. Again, no problem at all. It says that it can range an animal like a deer size out to 1,100. I imagine you'd need to have it on a tripod to be able to hold it on something at that range.
Not somebody as rock steady as me.
But and it is tripod ready. It has a little
Got
thing
the
on the bottom.
Proof in there.
Is something like this waterproof, Ken?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, mate. It is 100% waterproof. Nice of you to ask.
Okay. I've just asked. I
And
didn't know.
actually, the good thing is, it's 7 power, so it's and it's nice and it is nice and clear. Actually, when you use it as a monocular with that 7 power monocular, it's actually quite good as well. You do have to focus it. It does have a
Yep, it's got a fast
diopter and
focus on
yep,
it.
Yep.
There's so many things you can option on it, isn't there? You can do yards or meters.
Yeah, correct. You
all
can go
sorts
into
of
the
things.
menu, and that's the other thing I liked about it. I thought I'd do the Australian thing or the man thing in general, and just sort of have a play with it without using reading the instructions.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And so it only has 2 buttons on it. Basically, it's got a mode
there
button and one here and one here. When you punch through the modes, it's actually quite easy and intuitive to use.
Yeah.
You go through the menu and you can...
Because some of them can be quite complicated, can't they? Like,
Well, I find some things complicated, yes. But I actually found this quite easy to use. You run through and you can change different things in it. You can change the reticle. You can dial in whether you want it to be line of sight, or because it's a line of sight, or TBR. You can
3 more letters.
TBR, True Ballistic Range, which is very, very handy. If you want to use that feature, you've got to put in some ballistic information in there. It's in the menu. It's quite simple. You just need to read you actually need to read the instructions for that.
It's even got scan mode, hasn't it?
But that will give you the proper holdovers when you're shooting uphill, downhill, because it does vary. Gravity has a different effect, and
if you live in New Zealand, you need it.
Well, it does have this. It does. Yes, yes. Probably not all that much handy out in outback Queensland, but
she's flat.
But anyway, look, it's well featured. It's a really good. It's light. It's waterproof. It's got, like Phil was saying earlier on, this particular item has a 2-year warranty. It's a good item. Leupold make I think about 4 models of those varying different distances and all the rest of it. But anyway, it's a nice item.
Well, here's the question. I mean, obviously, Ken has absolutely pumped this thing up, and people are just right now just causing traffic jams to go down and buy this thing.
Really?
Have we got stacks of these in stock?
Yes.
You weren't listening again. We've already said that.
Okay. Well, I'm just confirming that we've just got plenty in stock.
You're too busy talking to my mum.
Yeah. He's jealous.
Actually, she wants to know if you've got a hanky.
Oh.
Got a hanky.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And clean undies in case I get hit by a truck.
Okay. All right. So look, that's the RX 2800 rangefinder. So Bushy, we've had a little bit of a smattering here of some Leupold product. What we're going to look at now is something to put these scopes on, and Leupold have a range of backcountry products.
Yep.
That can do that. So we've got some rings, we've got some mounts, we've got some rails. Ken, do you want to take us through this, mate?
Yeah, well, Leupold make quite a few different types of mounting systems, and this particular one that we're just going to...
This is the newest one.
Yes, this is the newest one, backcountry. This one, Leupold makes both steel and alloy type rings and mounts. This one here is an alloy version or aluminium version. It's aircraft
cut out
grade.
of a plane.
Aircraft grade aluminium, so it is a very strong mount. Actually, they are good looking mounts. The finish on them's nice. They're a sort of a semi gloss.
Is it a satin?
Satin would be probably a better word. Finish on them, but there's a couple different systems. One that utilises both the base, the cross slot base, and the separate rings. Right. They come in a variety of heights, low, medium, high. They come in a variety of ring sizes. I think from memory, an inch, 30, 34, 35 mil, I think, off the top of my head. The rails come in to fit most popular rifles that are out there.
Yeah, nearly everything now.
Yep, come both in a flat and a 20 mil MOA for the long distance guys.
Don't forget, if you want to just see these, just check out the links that Digital Cara has just put up, and you can be looking at these while Ken's talking about them. Sorry, mate.
No problem. So the rings come. They've got four torque screws in them. So they're just a really nicely finished item. So, and not heavy. So if that's a factor, it's a good option. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't destroy them in a hurry.
No, every bit as good as steel.
Listen, we've just had a question come through, and I don't know if this is a question for you guys or for Phil when we get Phil back, but someone's wanting to know, are the backcountry mounts tested just as much as what the steel ones are tested?
Absolutely. Yeah. Every mounting system in Leupold, even we have rifleman ones that are could I say dirt cheap on camera?
Yes.
But they're an excellent product. Everything is tested. Like, this is an amazing product. The minute you see the quality of this and what it's made out of, it just stands up on its own. And the other thing I'd like to say too, okay, this is an alloy rail, and people don't be frightened of alloy rails anymore. No. This is an awesome product. But if you didn't want to put these backcountry rings on it, you can put steel PRWs on it. You can put anything. It's a standard cross slot rail, so it basically you then got any option in the world just about to put a set of mounts on it.
Yeah.
Whereas we got ring mounts here,
So,
which are
yep.
a different system altogether.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say is the other option. There is the ring mount, which I'm sure most people would realise is a combination base and ring in one piece.
Simple one.
So it screws directly onto the action and
Just trying to figure out where we're going to go with.
oh dear. So that is another option as well. And also, look, beautifully machined, beautifully made. It's just a really nice finish on them. I'm really impressed with.
Oh, jeez.
I'm so impressed with this product. I've just thrown it to the floor for testing. And hang on, let me have a look. Yep, survived.
Oh, well
Not a
done.
mark on it.
Look at that.
Yep.
That is
there you go.
That is American-made quality.
There.
Right there.
Yeah. And this carpet's only an inch thick.
Yes, I know. Perfect.
So that's
a great
so
product.
again, yes. There's and again those rings come. I don't think there's as many. I think they might be only 1.30 in in those.
Yeah, there's
in
less
those
options in
particular-
ring mounts. There's
Yeah.
much more options when you go the other way.
Correct. But anyway, but like I said, there's a lot of different fitments there. So
It's just choice, whatever you prefer.
and you can get on if you want to get more information about those, they'll find them on our website www.
Yep. Or in the Facebook comments, Kara's got all the links there. Just click on those, and if you want to look at the mounts, the rail, whatever you want to do.
Kara's a hero.
Digital car.
Yeah, digital Kara. Someone's saying black products in front of the dark blue shirts are a bit hard to see. Look harder.
Oh, that's not nice. We will.
Oh, it was made up.
No.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was
Hey,
it?
Hey, children, we have the solution.
There we go.
It's not black.
There you go. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the big one. The Leupold LRP custom bronze. You can get that from the custom shop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But yes, you're right. They're hard to see in anything. They're probably hard to see there.
Yep.
Can't argue with
Yep.
that.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen.
Our budget doesn't extend to new shirts.
No,
No.
it doesn't. Now listen. Let's get Phil back. Come on. Phil,
Sure.
Come on. Phil. Come on, ladies.
And the crowd goes wild. Yeah.
No, jump in around that side, mate.
Oh, here we
So
go.
I'll get the
Yeah.
microphone. So,
Yeah, Bushy's a bit cuddly though.
all
Watch
right,
out.
Now,
Hello, guys.
now, Phil.
Your viewership is going up the minute I stepped on. Look at that.
Yeah,
Ding,
that's
ding,
what
ding, ding,
I'm
ding.
saying. Yeah, it's incredible, actually.
Nice ego, Phil.
The female demographic, I'm telling you. So, Phil, first of all, we just want to make sure. Was everything that we said here okay?
No.
No.
Hardly any of it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
really
Excellent.
awful.
That's what we're aiming for.
Well, listen, what you got? Make sure you got to do is make sure you get online, visit NIOA.com.au, check out our Leupold range of Leupold optics there, and don't forget, you can't buy them off us direct. We've had a few people from our last one asking this. We are a wholesaler only. We just love talking about the stuff. But you need to go to and see your local firearms dealer or your local scope dealer, and they will have all the experience and information that you need about them. But the big thing I guess we could say about this stuff is go down and see it, hold them, look through them, and you'll just be so impressed with the actual quality of it all, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good
For
stuff.
sure.
And Phil, on behalf of NIOA, mate, we appreciate the 2 weeks you've been here. It's been, I know, for our guys in the workshop, they've had a tremendous time and have learned such a lot. So I'd like to thank Leupold for allowing Phil to come down and do that. I know that you, as the Australian consumer, are only going to be benefit from Phil's knowledge and what he's been able to share with our guys. And we just hope to give you guys the best service. But we need to give away another prize pack.
Oh,
So-
another one.
Yep. So we're going to give away. Can you make sure that Digital Car is not picking? So that's the.
Mum's got a couple of aliases.
No, it's actually the
Yeah.
lens pen, and of course we've got the. Do you want to hold that one up, Phil?
You bet.
We've got the Federal Premium
Hang on.
bar mat.
Got to model that,
Ken,
mate.
have we got a winner?
Well, Digital Cara has.
Who we got? Digital Car.
Rob Campbell.
Rob
Oh, good
Campbell.
on you, Rob.
Congratulations. We'll get.
I won't give you this hat.
Make sure you send your details to Digital Cara in a PM. Don't write your address in the general comments section, please. We've had a few people do that. Not good. Just make sure you PM Cara or Digital Cara on our NIOA TV PM, and we'll get that sent off to you. Look out, we've got a question. Oh, someone says, can you get any reticles in a VX3i?
Any reticles? Well, there's a huge range, but
What do you mean? Like do we mean can we do a reticle swap?
Those are wildly customizable.
Yeah. Like almost any option is available on a VX3i.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you might, again, visit leupold.com.au, go to the custom shop, and you will be able to see what you can get.
Yeah,
in
you can
VX3i.
punch in VX3i and it'll tell you.
And it'll just bring it all up.
And if the information's not there, you can send through a message, and somebody will come back.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll put up Bushy's home phone number so that you can just, that'll come up very soon, and you can give him a call any time, day or night, and he'll be able to sort that for you. So,
Sure.
all right, listen, that's the end of this episode of NIOA TV Livestream, Leupold. Phil, mate, it has been sensational. Thanks again.
My pleasure, thanks.
And next month, we are talking all things federal ammunition. So that'll be an interesting live stream. So send in your questions. We're going to, maybe a couple of weeks out, we'll send something out on social asking for your questions. We'd like to thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time on
NIOA TV.
All right, go crazy, girls.
Yeah.
And we are...